This is breaking news from ThailandTV.news. Now all the Thailand news is in one place. The latest reports from around the clock and around the world. Breaking Thailand news from all the world's top news sources, translated into 11 languages and updated 24 hours a day. Here's Ali with more.
ThailandTV.news has it all. The latest news, weather and sports updates, plus up-to-the-minute events listings and fun things to do in Thailand. And that's not all. There's also entertainment, lifestyle, and travel news, including if it's happening in Thailand, you'll find it here at ThailandTV.news.
It's all here at ThailandTV.news. All the latest news, weather, sports, they even cover ice hockey. It's all done at ThailandTV.news. Yes, it's all the Thailand news, all in one place.
This is Thailand's biggest night for hockey. This is Hockey Night in Thailand.
On a beautiful Sunday evening here in Thailand's capital. This is the Thailand International Ice Hockey Arena. My name is Adam Gottschalk. Scott Murray with me. Keith Mueller and the entire crew for Hockey Night in Thailand, and the first one we've had since the holidays. We've got a doubleheader today, the first game starting in just a couple of minutes, and then the second game will follow about half an hour after this one ends. KCG versus something that resembles a squad called Aware, and we'll tell you that story in just a moment. But first of all, thank you so much and welcome into the broadcast. Hey, happy holidays, Scott.
Yeah, Adam, good point. Aware is missing over half their team today. As you mentioned, we were talking earlier, a lot of it is probably due to late holiday fatigue or just not getting back in time, but they've got 7 subs, they're missing 7 players and have 5 subs, one of whom is en route. The SHL rule is you can start the game with 9 players, but by the end of the first period you have to have 10. So hopefully that will all work out as planned, but we're still waiting for a few of them to get here, and we do apologize that we have got a little bit of a late start right now.
So I had this is my third week total, not consecutively, but doing the hockey games with you here in the Siam Hockey League. And first one's difficult because, right, it's been a long time since I've broadcast hockey, and it's not an easy sport to call. But then I got my feet under me, and the second week was a little bit better. And now I'm back today, and okay, we've got the full-time uniforms now. We've got permanent numbers. I thought, okay, we're going to nail this one. This is going to be easier. Show up at the arena, and hey, by the way, everyone is out. We've got entirely new players. We don't know what numbers they're wearing. Good luck.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but John Steinbeck's logo is up in the dressing room there. The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. So we we give the guys Grapes of Wrath to read sometimes as well, so just to keep them a little bit literate, amongst the hockey news.
The complicated thing about this, if you're aware, and obviously KCG is also missing guys. There's 4 players, including a couple of really big contributors who are not here for KCG today as well. But this is a tough matchup for Aware, no matter what. They're playing the team that's top in the league, KCG, unbeaten, unbeaten in regulation, 5-0-1 on the season. For Aware, you're 2-4-0 on the season. You really want to stay in the thick of it, and you'd love to find a way to win this game. And now you're missing 7 of your guys, including your captain. It doesn't change the fact that this counts in the standings, and it is a game that Aware really wants to find a way to stay competitive and hopefully scrap out a win.
No, you're very right, and it's tough because on paper after the draft it looked like Aware had the best squad, but then they lost 2 of their prime offensive players, Corey Day to injury and Oleg Kabakov to suspension. So they've been kind of in a free fall since then. And tonight they've honestly got a patchwork lineup. I mean, some of their subs are good, but the problem is that these guys haven't played together. So it's going to take time for them to know each other's moves and to orientate themselves with each other's styles of play. So it's going to be tough for them tonight. And KCG is also picking up a very good substitute, a guy named Robin Lehman, who played in the German league. So they're in for it tonight because both Jan and Nick Lampson are playing for KCG, and they're their 2 big guns. So it's going to be, as you so rightly said, it's going to be a very tough haul
Look, if you look at the statistics for Aware, 26 goals for, 35 against.
Yeah.
Their scoring numbers should be competitive in this league.
Yeah.
The issue has been the amount of, the first time they played KCG, it was a KCG 8-4 win.
Right.
I think if you're Aware and you're missing this number of guys, you have players you've never played with before in the lineup, and it's a game you really need to win, it's a defense-first hockey game. The goal for Aware is going to be shut down the neutral zone between the blue lines, try and limit opportunities for KCG, and if you can keep this to a game where both teams score sub 3 goals, I think you're feeling pretty good.
Right. No, that's very accurate. You nailed it right. You nailed it right there. I'm just checking the numbers here. It looks like they have 1, 2, 6.
So this is a first for me. It's the first time I've ever had in broadcasting we call this boards, where you put your lineups together in a way that you can look at the number and you can call it out on the air. I've never had to make up a new one on the fly, but I'm just going to scrap everything I've written for Aware. And now we've got our lineup. I believe we have all the subs accounted for at this point. I've just gotten a message with Tor Chartsuwan, who's the last player, I believe, to show up in the lineup. He's wearing number 16. But I think we can actually make this work somehow.
Now, the only problem is they have to get one more guy by the time the first period ends. I may have to go off.
You might have to jump down. That's okay. You know what? Me and Keith can.
No. I'm just going to have to make one call.
So it is Aware versus KCG, and if you'll forgive me for being half attentive as we're about to start the game, I'm just updating my notes with the jersey numbers that we have been given. KCG 5-0-1, 37 goals for, 16 allowed. Although much of that has been because of the stellar play of Dom Vollenweider, who's their starting goalkeeper, and he's not here today. Gabor Toth, probably the league's best secondary goalkeeper, if you will.
For sure. He's also, I would say, probably the most charismatic character in the league. I mean, the only person that he reminds me of in world history is Rasputin. And I mean, we could literally dedicate, as he just threw the water ball, I mean, we could dedicate the whole show to his antics. But one of the funniest things, he still doesn't have a great grasp of the English language, and whenever he's yelling at his players, he doesn't yell at them to skate, he yells at them to run. Run! And of course it confuses the hell of them because they're on skates and they're being told to run. But there's always going to be something, out of the mouths of babes. It's out of the mouths of Gabor. You never know what's coming out of there, so don't be surprised what you hear.
So Gabor Toth, who you've just heard, we'll call him Rasputin, starting in goal for KCG. It'll be his third start of the season. Goals against is I've got one more player for Aware, so I think that will bring us to a quorum, if you will.
Well, they got 9. They're good to go, but I still got to get them one more guy on the before the end of the first period. So I'm going to make a quick.
You do what you got to do. Jump off, Mike. I'll take it from here. Goalkeeper matchup, as I was saying, Gabor Toth starting for KCG in net, 78% goals against shots against percentage, and 5 goals allowed per game. Starting for Aware in net is going to be James Speck, I believe. Jimmy McAleer, who's a goalkeeper, is also here, but I believe that is Speck in net, 35, who is starting his 6th game this season. Goals allowed, 5.2 per game, saves percentage at 81%. It is Aware in the red and KCG in the black jerseys, and just like that, 17 minutes showing on the game clock. First period is underway, and Aware in the red will fight for the puck in the corner, but it's stolen away by KCG. That's Isaacson who had it, but stripped away and taken right back. Isaacson in alone, dekes the goalkeeper and hits the crossbar, but it stays in the offensive zone where a shot is flung high. 2 quick chances early, including a dynamite look from Jan Isaacson for KCG. For the first time, Aware will look to clear the zone, and they will get it out. It may take a while for Aware to just figure out who's on the ice. Meaning, I mean, imagine you're playing with guys who've never been on lines before, maybe even on the same team before, with 7, possibly even more substitutes. And Isaacson cashes that one in, his second golden opportunity in the game's first minute, and this one in the back of the net. Jan Isaacson with goal number 11 on the season in just his 7th game. It's 1-0 KCG, 1 minute into the hockey game. So 1-0 KCG, our score. Adam Gottschalk and Scott Murray, although at the moment he's off microphone. Keith Mueller here with me as well, and KCG with 3 shots on net in the game's first minute. 2 of them were beautiful looks. There's a 4th one that's shouldered away by Speck, and it's still KCG possession. That one inside for Lampson. His first shot denied, and on the follow, that one tapped home. And there's the second goal in 2 minutes to begin this game. That's David Bohr, the Canadian forward, with his 4th goal on the season. So a goal for Bohr and a goal for Isaacson, and that's how we begin. 2-0 KCG. And hey, we've got 17-minute periods. That's a 51-goal pace if it continues this way. Well, what did I say before the game started? The entire game, Aware would love to find a way to keep KCG to 3 goals or less. Well, it's 2 goals for KCG in the game's first 2 minutes. Stoddard collects for KCG, but has it taken away by Ernesto Bauer. He's one of the few guys for Aware who's a regular member of their team who's playing today. That one cleared around and out. The official waves it off. No icing here, and racing back to collect for Aware was Ono Susutiko. So here's what we are looking at, by the way, from the normal Aware lineup. The guys who are here today, as that shot fired on net and turned aside, the guys who are here today, McAleer and Speck, the goalkeepers, Shim, Michael, Maillard, Susutiko, Forstner, and Bauer. That's it. That is the entirety of the Aware team for the normal roster who's here. Fortunately, we do have a few substitutes in.
They've just grabbed Yeen, so they're now up to...
We've got a quorum.
Yeah, you got it. You got a quorum. Yeen's actually out there, defenseman number 81 on the...
Well, we'll figure it out. That one would have been offsides as that was deflected at the line, but it doesn't make it in. And so back is KCG, already leading by 2 goals
Yeah, you can see Yin right there. He's number 81. No, 86. Oh, Christ, I can't.
86 is Forstner, so
sorry.
that would be...
Sorry, let me...
It's all right. No worries. We'll figure it out. Take a minute, get your breath. You're trying to run the league while also, or at least.
Anyway, we were worried that they wouldn't have enough players for a default, but they're good.
No worries. Vic gets Isaacson the puck down low. Isaacson's third point-blank shot of the opening period is kicked aside, but it stays in the offensive zone for KCG, who already have a 2-0 lead. Aware looking for their first scoring opportunity is Devin Michael. Tries a little toe drag. Instead, it ends up on the stick of the defensive player for, I guess that's one of the subs for KCG. I'll try and get you an identity on him in just a minute. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Back is Aware. Shim racing in. Nobody in front of him. He'll just float one right into the belly of the goalkeeper, Toth. And with that, we're going to get a chance to take a look at today's away team, which is KCG.
So Roman Laren is actually wearing number 20. So he's on the team, but he's wearing a generic jersey.
Got it. He's normally 22
right.
in black. He's in 20 today. So, with that said, we'll catch you up and appreciate you being patient with us as we figure out who is who today. Meanwhile, that one just a little bit too tight to the post, which caused that one to just harmlessly float to the side. And here's tonight's home team starting lineup. That's Aware on the scoreboard.
So it's the substitutes for Aware are actually quite good, but the problem is, unfortunately, they haven't played together, and they're all playing various positions and are being thrown together for the first time. So it's going to take them some time to find some kind of chemistry.
So I have one question for you, and that's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think I know who's who. Is meanwhile Aware. That was stick checked away by the goalkeeper on an entry from Sherman, one of the subs today. Did want to ask you, I've got 33 in net for Aware. Is that Speck?
Yes.
Okay, because he's 35 on my roster card.
I think it's
either Speck or McAleer.
Yeah, but, I gotta. It could be McAleer. Sorry, when I took my eye injury, I can't see that closely.
I'm gonna message in our group.
Yeah, Dom will tell you.
Anyway, score 2-0 and looking for more.
I think it might be McAleer because he's wearing a Thai League jersey.
That was a little shot from Alex.
And I think Speck is lankier.
Well, we'll wait for confirmation. But anyway, goals so far, if you're just turning the game on, first one was from Isaacson. That's 11 goals. You were not on microphone when he scored, but 11 goals in 7 games for Jan Isaacson.
He's a great young...
It is Jimmy McAleer, not Speck. So I apologize for getting that wrong in the early going, but we had no idea. So let me reset and give you McAleer's statistics. This is his second game of the season. He allowed 9 goals in his first game, but a ton of shots peppered his way. 74% save percentage in that first game in net for Aware.
He's a Thai-American kid. He grew up, for the most part, in California, and I think he's quite young. I'd be surprised if he's over 16. This is his first year in the league, and he's playing with his mentor. His goalie coach is actually Speck, the other goalie on this team. So they've got a kind of a goalie and pupil as their netminders, which is very interesting to see.
Devin Michael brings the puck in, looking for Shim, but it was intercepted by Isaacson, the game's first goal scorer. David Bohr was the other one who scored for KCG. 10 shots on net, unofficially. If you listen to if you look at the scoreboard, just what? That's 8 minutes in.
Yeah. Now Aware has had the puck some of the time, but they unfortunately haven't got any shots on net. I mean,
again, this is something I said when you were off mic, trying to get us enough players to be able to play a full hockey game. There's goal number 3 and goal number 12 for Isaacson.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, as we'll take a second just to allow our viewers to appreciate what an amazing performance from Jan Isaacson in this season, the Swedish forward with his 12th goal, 16th point in the season. But what I was going to say, imagine you played enough hockey in your life to know how hard it is the first time you're with new line mates.
Yeah.
Imagine, these are guys you haven't even practiced with.
No,
this isn't just your first time with new line mates. This is an entire new roster.
Yeah. It's tough.
So you have to think that Aware, as the game goes along, hopefully will find some sort of comfort with each other.
Well, and number 11, Sean Berg, who's out there on defense, Sean took a puck to the eye or a stick to the eye rather, on Thursday night. So it's kind of amazing that he's actually out there playing. But he went to see the doctor today, got the go-ahead, and is wearing a cage. But he's got a nice shiner that we can't really see from here, but he's got a really nice shiner when the stick came up and clipped him on the nose and right below the eye.
Lamson had that one poked away. As we reach the 7.5 minute to play mark, I'm going to remind you that the clock does run.
Now
here's an opportunity, by the way.
There's Berg. That was the guy that we just. Okay, well,
he did draw a penalty.
Yeah, that's true. That's what they need.
And no. It's going to go wide. That was nearly disastrous as the puck was flung towards the open cage vacated by the departing goalkeeper. It's 6-on-5 for the attack for Aware, looking to get back on the scoreboard. They will have a penalty coming in their favor.
Hopefully this will give them some momentum.
That's the whistle. We'll see what the call is. But as I was starting to tell you, it's a running clock. And with 6 minutes and 43 seconds left, 2.5 of those are going to be a power play for Aware. They only have one shot on goal in this game, but here's a good opportunity for Aware to get at least to go into the locker room with a little bit of a good feeling.
Sure. Now, Adam, if you see number 68, the young defenseman just going off there.
Oh, no.
He's just been awarded the Johnny Aduya Scholarship. Usually we do this at the beginning of the year, but we wanted to do it when Johnny was in Thailand. He's actually here now, and hopefully that he'll be around on this Thursday, and we'll make a formal presentation to Ono. But basically, it's a scholarship that covers his fee for the year, and it just rewards young player for their talent, work ethic, determination, and it's kind of an honor for the young Thai kids to get a scholarship named after a former NHL player who's won a couple of Stanley Cups. So when Ono got the news that he won, he and his family were pretty excited, and they're looking forward to meeting Johnny hopefully later this week.
That shot deflects up and stays in play, does not go over the glass. Tell me a little bit about Ono.
Well, he started playing with us when he was 14, actually, and we usually have a rule that the kids need to be younger, but we let him play shinny with us, and he played on some of the Flying Phalong teams. That's the club team that we have here, and this is his first year playing in the league because he's 16. But we actually don't have a lot of young players, but he's incredibly polite. He's very respectful. He's got a good work ethic. He's always trying to improve. And when we just looked at the qualities for the player that we wanted to name the recipient of the award, Ono was the guy or the kid that just stuck out for all of us. So he really earned it. And anyway, as I say, it's nice to have an award named after an NHL player put on your resume.
Devin Michael looking for a deflection.
Now,
he did get one, but right into the belly of the goalkeeper.
There's Jean. He's wearing Devin Michael. Devin always seems to have two jerseys on the ice at one time. But you see, he's up there, number 4 right now. That's the real Devin Michael, and then this is a facsimile Devin Michael.
This is not done with broadcasters in mind.
So anyway, the Devin Michael with the black armbands is the real Devin Michael, and the Devin Michael with the white armbands is Yeen.
I'm just going to go to Tim Hortons. Should be here by now.
But with Yeen is on the Thai national team, and Yeen probably by far has the best shot of anybody in this league, and I would actually say a pro-style shot. The kid has just had incredible wrist snapshot slap. He just has an incredible shot.
That is a strong statement. The best shot of anybody in this league. That one was tight and just shouldered away. Sherman got his second shot. Actually, Sherman has 2 of the 3 shots on net registered in this game.
Sherman's an archetypical buzzsaw. He reminds me of one of those third-line centers in the SHL that gets you the face-offs, shadows that the other guy's top star, and is always mucking around. Him and his brother are doing great things up in Chiang Mai. Now,
the game, I believe, is back to 5 aside. The penalty's over, and so that was not a shorthanded opportunity. Just a quick 2-on-1 mini break. KCG, what a stick handle and a goal from Nick Lamson.
That was Now that was sweet. That was sweet. That was sick.
As a Caps fan, I've seen a couple of those from Ovi over the
No,
years.
I know, but that was just that. Now, Lamson actually played for Salem State. He played for Salem State for three years, Division III NCAA, back in I'm going to say about 10 years ago. But he's got some. He grew up in New Jersey, and he's got some good hockey skills. But those were some nice moves. He's
Sorry to interrupt you. Number
sorry.
7 of the year for Lamson. He's got 13 points now, 7 goals, 6 assists, and that was about as beautiful as it gets.
Now it's too bad because Aware, they had the power play opportunity there, and they've got some good players. I keep expecting more from Millard. I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just that he's got such good speed that I keep expecting him to break it open. And with this big ice, I think he's an offensive tool that I'm not sure if he's lacking confidence or whatever, but he's got all the skills. I keep expecting him to score, but again, if they can somehow just gel here quickly, they've got some good players in there that can still make this a game.
When Maillard is at least whenever we've called his games before, he always stands out as somebody who's creative, who seems to put the puck on the tape. The problem is they're just not finishing.
Yeah, and it's kind of it is a mystery to me because they should be finishing more. They've got some guys that can shoot. Forstner especially, they should be looking to set him up. I mean, he's got a really good wrist shot. So
Isaacson, who's looking for what we call a natural hat trick, tucks that one in, but it goes harmlessly through the crease. 2 goals in the first period for Isaacson. He's got 90 seconds left to get that 1 period natural hattie, something you almost never ever see, but obviously Aware would love to keep that from
now happening. You see, here's Forstner. You see, he can cruise when he's on. Now, if he can just held on the puck a bit too long right there, but if he can get that biscuit away, he's a real threat.
I'm so shaken by you telling me there are 2 number 4s on the ice. I'm afraid to say anybody's name anymore.
But you see how he's got the black kind of shoulder bands? Devin right below us now. See, those are the current jerseys.
So that's the real Devin Michael.
That's the real Devin Michael. Now the other Devin Michael getting on right now has the old Aware jersey that just has the white elbow band, no black shoulder band.
A reminder to our network affiliates that at the end of this period it will be a local break. We have a local break coming up, so if you're on the board tonight, please note this will be yours in 15 seconds. It's 5-0 KCG as the last few seconds tick off the clock here.
Adam, we just didn't want to make it easy for you. We sat down and tried to figure out how we could be the most confusing, and this was the best we could come up with, to be honest. Sorry.
Thank you. 5-0 our score at the end of 1. This is Thailand's biggest night for hockey. Hockey night in Thailand.
This is breaking news from ThailandTV.news. Now all the Thailand news is in one place. The latest reports from around the clock and around the world. Breaking Thailand news from all the world's top news sources, translated into 11 languages and updated 24 hours a day. Here's Ali with more.
ThailandTV.news has it all. The latest news, weather and sports updates, plus up-to-the-minute events listings and fun things to do in Thailand. And that's not all. There's also entertainment, lifestyle, and travel news, including the latest visa information. If it's happening in Thailand, you'll find it here at ThailandTV.news.
It's all here at ThailandTV.news. All the latest news, weather, sports, they even cover ice hockey. It's all done at ThailandTV.news. Yes, it's all the Thailand news, all in one place.
It is 5-0 KCG as we prepare to begin the second period here from Thailand International Ice Hockey Arena. Adam Gottschalk and Scott Murray, who is downstairs looking for some coffee, and I don't blame him after we have managed to scotch tape together our understanding of the roster. There's a lot of guys on holiday breaks, and it's been a one-sided affair as KCG looking for win number 6 in their 7 games to begin the season. They are off to a brilliant start both this year and this game. Aware will look to build some momentum here in the second period with at least 7 substitutions playing today because of guys being out due to holidays and work trips and injuries and you name it. Either way, this is the game that we have, and we appreciate being able to watch it. And speaking of appreciation, my man Scott Murray showing up with a box of Tim Hortons donuts and coffee, and oh my goodness, I am a happy guy. Thank you so much. 17-minute running clock is the way these periods work here. Aware is now moving from right to left as you look at it. They are in the red and KCG in the black. 16 shots on net registered thus far by KCG, just 5 for Aware, and only 1 officially on the game's only power play, but no goals. Here's Aware looking for a quick rip slap shot. That was turned aside. So Aware in the red, if you have a roster card at home, it's like playing bingo today. We've got 2 guys in number 4. We've got about 7 replacement players who are not on the full-time roster. And you know what? Give credit to Aware for still fighting this one out. And Bauer will carry it in, looking for the first scoring opportunity in quite a while. Oh my gosh, we've even got coffee in a box. All right, go ahead and fill me up, sir. Thank you so much.
Has nothing on us here.
Casey, thank you so much. In the first period for KCG, the big story, 2 goals from Jan Isaacson, which gives him a league-leading 12 on the season. Nick Lampson had perhaps one of this year's great highlight goals. And now Aware has numbers. They've got a quick 3-on-2 with Shim leading the pack. That one deflects and nearly got over the shoulder of the KCG goalkeeper, Toth. It's Gabor Toth in net for KCG and Jimmy McAleer for Aware. Forstner to... This is, I believe that was the fake Devin Michael, not the real Devin Michael, because now I know to look for the armbands.
Yeah, that was Yeen. Yeen's got a tongue twister of a last name, but I mean, if you just go by Yeen, pretty much everybody knows him here. He's got the Bobby Hull of all slap shots for Thailand.
You know, there are some guys, I remember the last time I was here just being quite impressed by Ken Kinborn, who we'll see in the second game today, who also has a really heavy shot.
Ken is Ken's the captain of the Thai national team, and yeah, he's got great skill.
We're 3 minutes into the second period. It's 5-0 our score with KCG leading Aware. Adam Gottschalk, Scott Murray, and I am watching the game, let's say with 85% of my attention. The other 15% is Keith Mueller's fault, our producer. For last time we did this, I went downstairs between games, and I came back up with a Tim Hortons donut, and Keith asked, hey, can I have a little piece of it? So I gave him a little piece, and I looked down a little bit later, and he left me the little piece, and he ate the rest of it. So Keith, you are.
It was delicious. It was like giving me crack.
I know it was delicious. Anyway, Patrick Forstner will stick handle his way in to keep control for a beautiful look to the middle. But unfortunately for Aware, Bauer just couldn't settle the bouncing puck, and it ends up floating in on net.
But again, they're creating the chances. Like they as you mentioned earlier, they just seem to have a problem finishing. But it would be nice if they could get a goal or 2 here just to give them some hope to carry through for the rest of the game.
As I said, lots of credit for Aware just fighting this one out with a whole bunch of guys they've never played together before, but nonetheless, since the opening 2 or 3 minutes of the game, at least the possession time has been fairly equal. It took a while.
No, for sure.
Jesse Starosta will poke check that one away to Bohr. He was one of the goal scorers in the first. Big rebound on the save, but taken back by Aware. That would have been offside,
now
so Starosta couldn't touch it.
That's Sherman breaking in.
Just off the side of the cage. 3 scoring chances for Sherman.
Good burst of energy, though. Now look at, nice play by Tom Price on Lampson there. Lampson thought he was gone again.
So Sherman is one of the guys who's a replacement today.
Yeah,
he's the one with the puck. Now, what's his story?
Well,
That one just rings the inside of the pipe and bounces back out.
Josh and his brother Jack live up in Chiang Mai, where they've really done great things with the Chiang Mai hockey program, and they're actually building a full-size rink up there now. But he flies down on the weekends to help coach the Thailand under-18 team, and since he's here anyway, he's asked to play. So as of right now, he will be with Aware for the rest of the season, or at least until Corey Day comes back. So he's got a full-time spot. Now, their family is coming next weekend, so both Sherman brothers will be playing for the for Aware. Oh, there's Lamson
Nick
again.
Lamson has a
He's
chance
always
at a
in the
quick
middle of it.
breakout. Forstner's back on defense. It's one-on-one, and Forstner wins that battle.
Now that was a nice play by Patrick. I think Nick's getting a little bit cocky now because he's trying that same move that he scored that beauty goal on a bit too often. They're kind of reading it. But look at this, all alone. Oh!
So that was actually only the second shot of the period for KCG compared to 6 for Aware. So,
and Jimmy stood his ground there pretty good. He didn't give the KCG player much to shoot at.
No goals in the second period, but the shot advantage with Aware, who trails 5-0 on the scoreboard. Jimmy McAleer, it's only his second start of the season in net for Aware. And as you said, you get shell-shocked the first couple of minutes in the game when you're just getting peppered with shots. But he's held his ground on a few in the last half of this hockey game so far. Kelly Shim will come in 1-on-3, and
there he goes.
Then he'll take it right back and just fling one towards the cage, which is going to be covered by Toth.
Now Kelly's another interesting kid because he's having a really good rookie campaign. I think he's got the most points of any rookie. So he was
5 goals in 4 games.
Yeah, he was a real candidate for the Johnny Uduya scholarship as well. It's just that Uno's been around a bit longer and has come out more often. But Kelly's having a sensational rookie campaign. He's really doing quite well and doesn't. And for a 16-year-old kid, he doesn't seem out of place at all.
Is he 16 years old?
I think so. Pretty sure.
He is a dynamic skater. That's one thing you notice when you watch Kelly Shim is he's a guy who can really move with the puck. Nice centering pass, but shot blocked before it reaches the goalkeeper, and Aware will look to counterpunch. No numbers, but still in onside. Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
There's Shim leading the break, and it's loose in the corner where it remains in Aware possession. Shim will fight for it, and he comes away with the puck and just flings one towards the crease, but nothing doing. Tied up defensively on a pretty nice stand there by Roman Laren. First time we've called his name today. One of the really strong players in this league, playing defense for KCG and wearing number 20 instead of the normal 22.
Roman actually had a stint with the Israeli national team way back in the day. He's a very good player. He's just a bit of a loose cannon at times as his temper can get the best of him, but there's no denying his skill.
Strong two-way defensive player. Has got 2 goals and 5 points in just 3 games coming into this one today for KCG. There's a reason why.
Look, here goes Malliard. As you see him go now, but great rush, and then unfortunately just at the end couldn't.
He had Forstner, who does have the puck now, and just snaps the shot. Did that one go in? It did.
It did.
Caught the inside of the net and bounced right back out, and the shutout gone. Aware on the board, Patrick Forstner with just a turnaround cannon.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. And I'm surprised Gabor hasn't found anybody to blame yet, because he's usually the first thing he does. But so hopefully that'll give Aware a bit of life and make this contest a bit closer, because that was a nice shot.
5th goal of the season for Patrick Forstner, along with 4 assists. That's 9 points for Forstner. Lamson will try and come right back, looking for the centering pass to Starasta, but it's poke-checked away. And Aware will take possession with Ernesto Bauer.
Nice pass!
Sending out Maillard. Here's Maillard 1-on-1, onside, and beautifully stopped defensively from KCG.
Nice pass by Bauer.
We're at 7.5 minutes to play here in the second period. 5-1 our score. Bohr comes in, fires off the iron. That one turned aside. It may have caught a piece of the shoulder pad of McAleer, but it did hit the outside of the pipe. 1-0 Aware in the second period. This has been the style of play that they were looking for, but it took a while to get their footing, and unfortunately they still find themselves down 5-1 on the scoreboard. As we tick down under 7 minutes to play here in period number 2. Scott Murray, Keith Mueller, and the crew, and Aware looking to build on the momentum that they've put together this period. That one actually hit a body out front. It's still loose in front of the net, and we'll get the whistle and the cover from Gabor Toth. Hey, want to tell you about something that I've been working on, and thankfully we've got some amazing support from our friends here at Thailand TV, including Keith Mueller sitting right next to me. It's a program called OTR, which stands for On the Road, Off the Rails, On the Record, whatever you want to call it. We are talking about history, food, and culture here in Thailand. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/OTR On the Road or OTROnTheRoad.com. And very soon, you can find us here on Thailand TV. And so, of course, our wonderful network helping to produce this hockey broadcast and all of our telecasts for Siam Hockey League. Also showing this, and that is the save of the game
Point
from Gabor
blank.
Toth.
Josh Sherman stopped them point blank. Sorry, Adam, just to interrupt you. Earlier in the game, you had a...
And it's in the back of the net. Man, that one from Lim Pinpat just hung in the air forever, and you wondered if McAleer might see it floating over his prone blocker pad.
That's a backbreaker.
But man, it's 6-1.
But do you remember early in the first period, the shots were 10-1 in KCG's favor. They're now 20-14. So even though the scoreboard doesn't show it, Aware has bounced back in terms of puck possession and shots on net, and so they have made a game of it, even though the score doesn't indicate that.
Hey, unless I have, I mean, again, we don't have the benefit of instant replay here, but unless there was a deflection I didn't see, that would be the 5th goal of the season from Lim Pinpat, who wears number 42 for KCG. Yeah, and he's another. There's a reason why. Sorry to interrupt. There's a reason why KCG is 5-0-1. There's a lot of offensive firepower on that team.
And Tan's an SHL veteran, but you'd be surprised. He was quite a late draft choice, but he's having a great year. Looks like Laren got hurt, got dinged in the ear there. The referee should be either directing him off or he's going back into the play.
The official said play on. That puck still loose in front. It was Roman Laren who I think hit maybe the stanchion in between the
but it looked like he was favoring his ear there. He's obviously still in some discomfort.
That was a gorgeous play. Vic put that one on net, but I think that is going to get a whistle. And it was held and stifled from the goalkeeper. But yeah, I know you were watching the injury to make sure Roman Laren's okay.
Yeah. Well, it looks like obviously that wasn't a player that caused that injury, because Roman would have probably gone after the player. But it was, as you say, the stanchion in the rink. He's got his helmet off and is sitting on the bench over there.
I mean, it's always dangerous. You see where the glass meets the metal, meets the boards. Yeah. And you can see some really serious injuries. Unfortunately for Roman Laren, who is a guy who we like a lot, think highly of, but Matthew Maillard coming back and didn't really get in.
See, he's got the burst of speed there, but it's just a poor finish.
I think he probably had more space in front of him than he realized, and he snapped that shot a little early. But 6-1 our score. Adam Gottschalk, Scott Murray, and the crew. We have 3 minutes left in the second period, and one more still to come. KCG looking for win number 6 in their first 7 games of the season. They're 5-0-1. Aware 2-4-0. And Lampson has that one taken away as he looked for the entry. 22 shots for KCG, and now up to 15 for Aware. That one just snapped high from Starosta on a bouncing loose puck. And for Aware, it comes out to, not quite to neutral ice, still held inside, and there's Starosta in, looking for the centering pass to Bohr, but just a bit behind him, and it sneaks back out to no man's land. I think Laren
Okay, here
on
they go.
the bench has his helmet back on, so it appears that everybody's okay. Who's that?
Well, I have to say, Gabor's played a pretty good game tonight. He hasn't he's been holding the rebounds, so that there hasn't been too much of a chance for Aware to capitalize on second and third chances after the first shot.
Yeah, Gabor Toth, statistically speaking, 15 saves on 16 shots.
Yeah. It's funny, he usually goes through about 6 of those big bottles of water every game. And they're usually behind the net, and they weigh the net down. So you can always tell that Gabor's in net because the top twine on the goal is always sagging.
Isaacson still looking for that third goal. I'm sure he'd love to get that hat trick today. He had the puck on his
he had it
stick
right there.
as it trickled through the crease, but
now there's on. They just can't seem to.
that would have been a 4-on-2.
They just seem to be missing that.
Well, I mean, can you blame them when they're a bunch of guys who've never played together before?
I know, but it's just too bad because sometimes it's just that split, that 1 second delay, or that. I think this is Shim again, yeah.
This is Shim leading the attack. Shim has guys with him, but he just wrists that one high. Roman Laren, by the way, who got hurt earlier in the period, is back on the ice, so that's great to see.
Okay.
Meanwhile, that was a little wrist shot from Sherman that is harmlessly pushed aside. Again, a reminder to our network affiliates that this is going to be a local break coming up for you at the end of the period. We've got half a minute to go, as you see in the top right corner on your scoreboard. But if you are sitting in the studio waiting for our cue, it's going to be your turn to fire this next commercial break. Vic ahead would love to find a way to get one more goal this period. You know, 6-1 on the scoreboard, but 1-1 here in the second. It's actually been a pretty nicely played, well-paced hockey game. And shooting that one was Devin Michael, the real Devin Michael.
Right.
And that's how our second period is going to come to an end. 6-1. The score. KCG leading Aware. We've got 17 more minutes of hockey left, and then Scott Murray's got to go downstairs and put on a helmet. We'll be back after this. Hockey Night in Thailand.
Let's go.
I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Now this is what I'm talking about. Every time I see your smile, it makes me shout. Let's go! Let's go! Nothing's gonna stop us today. Get on the bus or get out the way. We're cruising with the radio on. So turn it up to 10. Here comes our favorite song. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Wow, that was a quick break. You'll have to forgive me for that 5 seconds of dead air. That is the fastest I have ever eaten an entire donut. Yeah, that was, I don't know that I want to repeat that. I think in about 30 seconds, I just downed an entire caramel-filled Tim Hortons donut and washed it down with a coffee.
We have EMS standing by for you.
Oh my gosh. Man, by the way, coffee and a donut,
From Tim Hortons.
well,
Yeah, it's
and
delicious.
not my first of either today. That sugar crash, I'm going to be napping between games. Please make sure you wake me.
I will.
In time for the second one, which, by the way, is a great way for us to plug that there is a second game coming up after this. Siam Mandalay against Lexicon Lumberjacks, which will start about half an hour after this one ends. And look forward to having you along with us for that one. In game number one, Aware trailing by 5 gets a nice wrist shot put on net by Sherman. He's been buzzing today. But that one again to the midsection of Gabor Toth and harmlessly turned aside. 6-1 our score. I'm curious, out of the 18 shots that Aware has officially registered today, how many of them, we got more. You guys are really trying to get me to just completely fall asleep with a sugar crash here. Just curious, I was starting to say, out of the now 19 shots for Aware in this game, I've got unofficially at least 6 or 7 of them from Sherman today.
No, I mean Sherman is he's a buzzsaw. To be honest, he reminds me of a typical third line center in the NHL who you'd put against the other team's first center. He's good on face-offs. He's always works hard. He's got a strong work ethic, and he's always buzzing around creating opportunities.
That's Forstner leading the attack.
Oh,
and
is he hurt?
Forstner just tripped over the goalie stick. It was Toth who stuck out the big goalkeeper stick, and Forstner took a tumble. But it seems like everybody's all right. Just got a jersey covered in ice now. 6-1, KCG leading. We are 2.5 minutes in with a running clock here in period number 3. So, I think, as that meanwhile just missed the net,
Wow.
I think if you were to look back, Scott, at our keys that we talked about before this game started, I'm actually quite impressed with how well Aware has played the kind of game they needed to play after the first period. It just takes a while for guys who've never played together to really build that familiarity.
Yeah, and there was that point where they had a man
This was
advantage.
a 5-0 game.
Yeah, it was. Well, there's a point where they had a man advantage late, and they couldn't capitalize. And as soon as the penalty was over, KCG came back and scored. The one thing with KCG is they're playing with swagger. They just kind of have an easy confidence about them that they know they're going to get things done.
Well, you also
seems to translate into the whole team.
That number 61 who you just saw carrying the puck is a big reason for that swagger. Jan Isaacson with 12 goals in the early part of this season. And we saw just a highlight reel one to begin this game.
He uses his body very well. He's built like a hockey player. He's very strong, very strong lower body, and he's just very hard to move off the puck. And when he gets the puck, he just uses his body so well to shield the puck. He just creates space and opportunity for himself.
So I guess that's part of the drama of the game's last 13 minutes is will Isaacson get his hat trick?
That's right.
Here's Starasta, the captain for KCG, putting one across the goal crease, and back comes Aware. They do have numbers if they hurry. Got Forstner off the puck, overlapping, and they tried to get it to him, but he couldn't corral it. Now an outlet pass looking for Bohr is poke-checked to the side. Adam Gottschalk, Scott Murray, and the crew. Keith Mueller sitting next to me on the controls.
Okay. Nice try by Forstner. That was the idea. Sometimes he holds on to the puck too long, but right there he made a series of nice moves and shot it just when he needed to.
Forstner has the one goal today for Aware. That's his 5th of the season.
He's got a great wrist shot when he can let it go. Well, you're right. Outside of the first period, Aware's kept this close. I mean, I thought we were looking at a 10 or 12-0 game for a while there. But they've made it quite respectable, and it's too bad. I mean, they have had a lot of scoring chances. They just haven't been able to. You
can also say, Jimmy McAleer in net, he got just bombarded early in the game, but he's played pretty solid hockey game.
It's good because for a young goalie, it can go either way. It can totally shatter their confidence, or they can just suck it up and keep going. Now here's a chance.
There's Forstner ahead. He's got Bauer trailing him, and Forstner in alone, and he tucks it home. 2 goals for Forstner, 6 on the year. And it's 6-2 our score. Patrick Forstner cashes in the breakaway.
Wow, look at that, eh? So never say never. And again, that's going to give a bit of confidence to these guys. They can still make it close. They've still got about 11.5 minutes left in the game.
th shot on goal as well for Aware, who have, to be frank, they've dominated that category since the first period.
Yeah. And I think, KCG's obviously, I think that was Tommy Price, unfortunately, taking a
Price who blew a tire, but seems to be all right.
Yeah. Now, Tommy actually lives in Japan, but he's been playing on and off with us for years, and he's here for a couple months, so he's playing shinny with us and will fill in as a sub, but he's been a long time part of our hockey program, even though he does live in Japan. He's a Canadian boy.
There's Isaacson just feeding one below to Vic and does not end up making it in on
nice
net.
play by Thor. Now that number 16 is Thor, Taewin Chartsawan. He's the former captain of the Thai national team. He's close to 40 now, so his best playing days are behind him. But about 10 years ago, he was the guy. He was the guy.
Well, don't say that as if that's a...
No, I just mean...
I'm closing in on 40 as well. Does that mean that my athletic peak is past?
Well, you know,
I don't even remember 40.
Unless you're Chris Chelios, it gets difficult.
Yeah, I don't even remember 40.
It gets difficult.
Here's the real Devin Michael
Oh,
carrying.
no!
I'm not sure
I don't
that
think
Sherman knew that
good point,
pass
good
was
point.
not intended.
I know. It's too bad, because if he let it go to Shim had a much better chance.
Puck still loose. KCG got a little too tight on the goalkeeper and just couldn't find space to poke that one in. Got 9.5 minutes left, and KCG, this is Robin Lehman, who's the substitute playing today, in place of a couple of the guys who are out. Anliker, Hera, Fawcett, starting goalkeeper Vollenweider, all of them are not available for KCG. So, we're talking on and on today about Aware and all the struggles that they were, for no fault of their own, the struggles that they're going to have when you have so much of your lineup out. But give credit to KCG as well for plugging in the gaps for the missing pieces on their team. Those are we've seen Ichiro Hara play obviously some great games to begin the year. Onliker is a big part of the roster. Vollenweider. So this is and Alistair Fawcett as well. Both teams had to overcome some key parts being out today.
Sure.
Although obviously Aware has the bigger challenge.
Yeah, sure. It's just that KCG has that 1-2 punch of Nick Lampson and Jan Eriksson, and they're just. You shut down one and the other's right there. So it's really tough to shut down both of those guys. They're just two very skilled players.
In no way am I looking past this one, as we are very much excited to see what the last 8.5 minutes will bring. But in case somebody's watching this and considering, do I flip the channel or do I stick around another half hour, 45 minutes? Tell me about the second game we've got coming up tonight when we have Siam Mandalay against Lexicon Lumberjacks just after this one ends.
Well, Siam Mandalay has its full team here. Tom Stastny landed at the airport at 6:40 p.m. and is actually in the house. So he made it. It's going to be tough. The favorites going into the game are Lexicon, and they're picking up a couple good shifts. The problem was, unfortunately, when Siam Mandalay went to the draft board, they drafted a lot of offense.
Sorry to interrupt you. Nick Lampson just got his second of the game, and it's the second time he's scored on a beautiful move like that. So we've got 2 goals from Lampson, 2 goals from Isaacson, as the stars shining bright for KCG.
Yeah, every time it looks like Aware is going to mount a comeback, then Lampson or Isaacson kind of deliver another nail in the coffin of Aware.
But so back to the second game today.
Yeah.
It's a 2-game losing streak for Lexicon Lumberjacks, who for a while at the beginning of this season I thought looked like they were going to steamroll the league.
They did. It took a couple games for KCG to get going, but they are the ones who look like the team to beat right now. But Lexicon still has a world of talent on that team. They've got Ken Kinborn, who you mentioned, and he alone can decide the outcome of a game. So he's a tough one to stop, and he, I believe, had missed a game or two, and that was one of the losses that Lexicon had suffered. But he's here today, so most of their big guns are here. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game for Siam Mandalay.
You got to say though, for Lexicon, with 2 consecutive losses and today missing Omelka and Arola, who are 2 of their big guns, who are not going to be in the lineup this afternoon. This is a game that for Lexicon Lumberjacks, they really have to start putting some goals on the board and not letting this losing streak go to 3.
No, you're right, and they've got 2 good subs. Mancorn and Robin Lehman are gonna help. But Siam Mandalay has been wrestling with confidence problem throughout the whole league. They've got 2 of the best forwards in the league. They've got Mike Friesen and Tom Snasny. But the rest of the team, unfortunately, hasn't really been able to gel. And we'll just have to see if that... I'm hearing that they're going to put Jeff Bonazzo with Stasny and Friesen, and that could be a very powerful line today. So we'll just have to see how that goes, because Kinborn used to play with Friesen and Stastny, so it's going to be interesting to see how he plays against them. And it's going to be a battle between Friesen and Stastny, and to be honest, whatever Ken Kinborn brings, it'll be an interesting game.
You see these awesome jerseys that just looks. This is the first time I've been calling a game since the jerseys arrived this season. You can see how great the gear is that's produced for this league, and that's a great segue, if I do say so myself, because I do want to let you know that any fans of Thailand hockey can get official Thailand hockey merchandise, including SHL and Flying for Rings, t-shirts, hoodies, all kinds of hockey swag as Vic scores a goal to make it 8-2. Anyway, all this stuff can be delivered to you directly anywhere in the world. It makes a great gift. What do we have coming up? We've got Valentine's Day coming up. If your significant other really wants a Flying for Wrong t-shirt.
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day gifts. Go to Hockey Thailand.
You can get it in green.
Go to hockeythailand.com.
It's my birthday, so get one for me.
When's your birthday?
March 17th.
Okay, not today.
St. Patrick's Day, yeah.
I was going to say, if it's today, you can have my donut and I won't fight you.
No.
All right, guys, I got to leave you. I got to get dressed. So
thank you, Scotty.
Thanks, Scott.
We'll see you on the ice.
8-2 is the score as Scott goes down to put some pads on. He'll be in the lineup in the second game today. So as we tick down to the final 4 minutes, again, just one last reminder, Siam, Mandalay, and Lexicon Lumberjacks will be coming up about half an hour after this one is over. Gives us a chance one more time to tell you that here on Thailand TV, you will very soon get to see OTR, which is food history and cultural content about Thailand. We would love it if you'll check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/OTR on the road. And hey, if you like it, please subscribe. And most importantly, make sure you're always tuning in to Thailand TV. And with that, we have 3.5 minutes left and a couple of, what a move that was from Aware. Patrick Forstner looking for another one. And we have he didn't score, but he did draw a penalty, and the game is going to most likely, this will be the final power play of the game, but this should be, if I'm interpreting correctly, should be a man advantage for Aware. With a running clock and 3 minutes left to play, it'll be a 2.5-minute power play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that is correct. And going off for KCG was Paul Stoddard, the forward, 13. So Stoddard off on a hook. And the second power play opportunity in this game for Aware, Michael. Sorry, that's the fake Michael. That's Yin, the other number 4. I can't say I'm excited for this game to end. I enjoy doing this, and I'm enjoying watching the game.
We had to bribe you with donuts. They've calmed the pain.
No, I mean, it sounds mean for me to say I'm excited for this game to end, but I am excited to be able to trust my roster a bit more in the second game.
Right.
Either way, we have a whistle. That might be another call, and either way, as we sort this out, it might just be an offsides. I want to thank our entire production crew for helping to make this the very best hockey broadcast in the entire country of Thailand.
That's right.
Executive producer of Hockey Night in Thailand is Keith Mueller. Our camera crew is Jin, Pang, Ellie, Opor, Tanya, and Sonia. Scott Murray is already off microphone and downstairs getting ready for the second game. I am Adam Gottschalk, and it is an absolute pleasure and privilege to bring it to you here from Thailand International Ice Hockey Arena. And I think we have an issue with goalie gear. That one knocked off the face mask of Gabor Toth. That's what that whistle is. There was no penalty called, just a face mask that came loose, and we got to make sure we take no issues with player safety. We get close to the final minute of play here. It remains an Aware power play. Toth trying to shut the door and record his best performance of the year He's got 20 saves on 22 shots. It's been a really strong performance, especially the last 2 periods when Aware has been constantly pouring on pressure. But Gabor Toth has stood tall in net for KCG, and he will get the win. As I think we're not spoiling any drama in a 6-goal game with half a minute left to tell you that when this one's over, KCG is going to go to 6-0-1. Aware, with the setback, will fall to 2-5-0. And the only question at this point is, what will the final score be? And will we see any of the 3 players with 2 goals in this game end up with a hat trick? That would be Lampson and Isaacson for KCG and Forstner for Aware. That one wristed on net by Yin and covered. And as the whistle sounds, the final 3 seconds will tick off the game clock, and that will do it. Final score in Game 1 today, KCG 8 and Aware 2. Coverage of the second game, Siam Mandalay against Lexicon Lumberjacks, will start when the Zamboni finishes its rounds. Let's estimate, 10-15 minutes from now? Coming up
We'll be
soon.
on about 9:40 with the countdown. 9:45 will be puck drop. We'll see you then.
Thank you so much, Keith. And hey, I'm going to pretend like Scott's on microphone because you don't know, you don't see him. Scott, great job today. Haven't got Keith Mueller and the crew. We will see you in a few minutes. This is Hockey Night in Thailand.
See you later.
This has been a presentation of Thailand TV.tv, winner of the SHL for excellence in broadcasting for Hockey Night in Thailand.